Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Tanelia and this is Uyong Beauty. Today we're going to be doing a fun little video playing around with makeup from Five Below. I have eyeshadow, blush, highlighter, mascara. I have some lip products here. I have all kinds of little fun things to play around with. I started collecting all this stuff back in early March with the intention of shooting this video and having it uploaded on my channel sometime in April. I was only able to collect a few things for everything started shutting down, so I didn't have enough to actually do a full face. So I ended up waiting until everything started to reopen again and I was able to go back to Five Below and get a few more things because I really wanted to have a lot of products to do for this video and not just, an eyeshadow palette. I wanted to have a nice variety of products to play around with. If you're unfamiliar with Five Below is kind of like a high-end Dollar Tree store. Everything there is $5 and below. They do have a few things that cost a little bit more, but most things are below $5. Say it's Christmas time and you have a lot of people to shop for, but you don't have a big budget to do your shopping. Five Below is a really good place to go. They have clothing, they have shoes, they have makeup, they have electronics, they have bedding, they have household goods, candles, toys, games, all kinds of stuff. Last Christmas, they did a 10 below display where everything in that particular section was $10 and below. And I got my oldest son, he's 23 now, a LED light up gaming keyboard for only $7. To this day, it still works like new. But let's go ahead and get started. I don't have a primer from Five Below, so I use my BH Studio Pro Anti-Shine Primer, and I already did that ahead of time. So let's go ahead and move on to our base product. Our foundation base product they're going to be using today is the BB cream from Smoke and Mirrors. This is in Tan to Dark. The only thing about this BB cream is it only comes in 4 shades from what I can see. Fair to light, light to medium, medium to tan, and tan to dark. This one is tan to dark. Although if you actually look at it, I'll put a little bit on the back of my hand. It's more of a medium to tan shade. Like this is like a perfect match to me. If you are deeper than me, you know this is not going to work. I wish they had made one more shade that was a little bit deeper than this for women who have deeper skin tones, because once you get past someone that's maybe a little bit darker than me, this is not going to work for you. I'm going to use my AOA microfiber sponge here. I bought this several months ago before I was really into makeup. I only paid $3 for it from Five Below. And it is a really, really good product. It's a BB cream, so it's not like a full coverage product. It's more like light to medium. It evens out the skin, but it's very skin-like. So once you blend it all out, it evens out the skin tone, but it doesn't look like you're wearing makeup. It still looks very skin-like. And it has a very nice finish that wears for a long time. I set it with powder, obviously, because I have oily skin. But if you have like normal to dry skin, you could leave this as it is and not set it with powder, and it would wear very nicely all day. I wasn't able to find a brow product, a setting powder, or a concealer, so I'm going to use my Believe Beauty concealer and setting powder and my LA Colors brow pencil. I'm going to go ahead and do this part off camera, and then we'll come back and we'll move on to face and eyes. Now let's move on to some blush and highlighter. I have 2 palettes here. Both of these are $5. This one is by Beauty Intuition Surreal Contour Palette. This one has contour, blush, and highlighter in it. On the inside of the palette, they have a little chart here telling you where to put the bronze and the highlight and all that jazz, if you want to use that. The palette itself has 8 face products. This one and this one are contours, and we have 4 different highlighters. In this one, I'm going to use the blush from this one. Then we have the Brown Sugar Highlighter Palette. This is from Smoke and Mirrors. Smoke and Mirrors is the same brand that I use with the BB cream. Smoke and Mirrors is actually a pretty decent brand. I've only seen them at Five Below. I don't know if they're sold anywhere else. This is a pretty nice palette. There are 4 shades in here. We have Moonstone, Summer, Daydream, and Golden Beach. This palette actually has a mirror on the inside, and this is what the 4 shades look like. I'm going to go ahead and swatch them real quick just because I'm curious about how they feel. Moonstone, Summer, Daydream, and Golden Bronze. They're okay. I mean, it's not the smoothest, creamiest formula that I've ever seen, but, they feel pretty decent. First, we're going to go into this Rose Bouquet blush shade from this contour palette, and then we're going to go into the Smoke and Mirrors highlighter palette. I've never used any blush formula from Five Below, so I'm not sure what to expect, but so far it's pretty. It's a shimmer shade. It's not like super highly pigmented, but it's pretty. I'm actually impressed. It's a very pretty dusty rose shade. I think I'm going to dip into the golden bronze shade down here. It looks like it's kind of a champagne gold. Let's see how that looks on the cheeks. I'm going to tap that right there. It's pretty. It's not the best highlight formula, but it's pretty. For $5, it's pretty. I don't see any glitter. That's a good sign. It's pretty smooth going onto the face. I don't have any complaints. I think it looks really, really pretty. Let's move on to the eyes. I have 3 different palettes here. This one is from the Color Workshop. It's the Shadow 10 Nude Palette Eyeshadow Collection. There are 12 shadows in here. This one is kind of a peachy coral nude. You guys have seen me use this color story many times. You know, this is the color story that I normally go for. So I'm not going to use this one in this video, but I might use it in the future video. We'll see. I also picked up a palette from LA Colors. This one has 16 shades in it. I just really like this pastel color story with the green and the yellow and the corals and the purples. I just thought this was really, really pretty. We all know LA Colors makes a beautiful eyeshadow formula, so I'm not going to use this one in this video. I am going to use it in a future full face of LA Colors video. The palette that we're going to be using today is from Beauty Treats, and this is a Neon Brights eyeshadow and pigment palette. There are 25 shades in here. I thought what better way to test eyeshadow from Five Below, blendability, pigment, vibrancy, all that, than with a rainbow palette. One of the things I really loved about this palette right off the bat is there was a chart in the back clearly indicating whether it's a pressed pigment or an eyeshadow. If there's a P in the square, it's a pressed pigment. If there's an E in the square, it's an eyeshadow. That is one of my biggest pet peeves with companies like ColourPop. They never clearly indicate whether or not a formula is not eye safe. Eye safe usually means it's a pressed pigment or it's a pressed glitter. If it's a pressed pigment, that usually means it stains. That's why it's considered not eye safe. If you look in the back of a ColourPop palette, there will be like some kind of dot or something on top of the formula that's not considered eye safe, but it'll be so tiny that you can barely see it. Like you literally need a magnifying glass to be able to see it. And most companies are like that. They're not very clear with indicating the formulas in the palette, what's eye safe and not eye safe. And I love the fact that this palette very clearly shows you whether it's a pigment or it's an eyeshadow. This is not fancy packaging by any means. It's plastic. This part right here that the shadows are actually held in, it's just a piece of plastic. See, you can lift that up. It's just a cheap piece of plastic, and there's just like a little piece of sticky stuff in the middle holding it down. But what we're looking at is the actual formula itself. I don't know what to expect. I don't have like super high hopes for this, but if it turns out to be a really good formula, then I'll be pleasantly surprised. I'm not going anywhere after I finish filming. My work day is finished, so after I finish this, I'm going to wipe all this off anyway. So let's go ahead and have some fun with this. What shade do we want to lay down first? You know what? I think I'm going to go with this peachy shade right here. You guys know how much I love a peachy shade. What does this feel like? It's actually pretty silky feeling. But let's see what the pigment is like. Lots of pigment on the brush. Let's see how it looks on the eyes. Okay, that is actually pretty nice. It's a little powdery. There's a little bit of kick up there, but that's actually a decent amount of pigment, and it's actually blending pretty well. All right, where do you want to go next? Let's go with this neon green right here. A lot of powdery kick up in that one, but there's a lot of pigment on the brush. And let's lay that here. What do we think? Powdery. Yes, there is a lot of kick up. This one is not as pigmented as that first shade. Let's see if we can build that up. It's building up. I mean, it's not the most highly pigmented shade, but it's pretty. This one would probably look pretty good if you lay down an eyeshadow base. Maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. But as you can see, that first shade we laid down, it is already blending away. And I'm not even touching it. I'm only touching this part right here, and it's already dusting away. I think I'm going to go into this red shade down here. Once again, lots of pigment on the brush. Let's see how it looks in the eyes. It's okay. There's not a whole lot of pigment with that one. Right off the bat, this is definitely not a very bright neon palette. These shades do not have much pigment at all. But like I said, I wasn't really expecting much from this particular palette. Let's do one more shade. Let's do this neon purple right here. Put that on the outer corner and then lay down a shimmer and test out one of those formulas. Barely any kind of payoff at all. Let me do one more shade. I want to take this yellow and put that in the inner corner part of the eye and see if it shows up any. Yellows are always the hardest to formulate. It's a decent amount of pigment. You can see it, but it's barely there, but you can see it. It's definitely not the neon bright shade that's in its palette, that's for sure. So let's lay a shimmer all over the eyelid real quick. We got this purple, this silver, and this blue. I think I'm gonna go with this blue. That feels really, really soft. And that's actually a decent amount of pigment right there. I don't know why I did that finger when I'm right-handed. I'm gonna lay that right there. It's okay. There's not much shimmer going on. It's more pigmented than the mattes, but there's not much shimmer or shine or anything really going on with that shade. I'm going to line my eyes with this ink eyeliner pen. I paid $1 for this. The regular price was $3 at Five Below, but they had a bunch of them on clearance sale for $1, and I got all of them that were left. I think there was like 3 or 4 of them that were left, so I went ahead and I grabbed all of them. It's an okay formula. It's not smooth. It is pigmented. It's black, but it does skip a little bit, so you have to kind of go in there and take your time when you're lining your lids. But for $1, you know, it works pretty well. It does the job. I'm going to curl my lashes real quick, and then we'll move on to mascara. I actually picked up a 3-pack of mascaras that have 3 different formulas in them. The mascara that we're going to be using is also from Smoke and Mirrors. There are 3 different formulas in here. There is a curling, a 3-in-1, and an extreme volume. It says it's infused with argan oil. The new formula with 3 times longer lashes and bolder lashes. So let's go ahead and we're going to pop this open. Those are the 3 mascaras. I'm curious to see what the wands look like. This one is the 3-in-1. Okay, so it has a flat part with a round part on the outside. This reminds me of the 3-in-1 mascara wand from e.l.f. This is the extreme volume. That one has a nice thick wand that's thinner. In the middle, let's see what the curling mascara wand looks like. So that one is a little thinner and it's a slight curve in it, so you can get up in there and grip each one of the lashes. All 3 of these are in black. I think I'm going to use Extreme Drama Mascara today. That's the one that I am most curious about. Okay, just coming out of the tube, it's like gunking up on the very, very top part. So the mascara is not coming out clean. But let's see how it looks on the eyes. This is a really, really big wand. Are we seeing any extreme drama? It's actually working pretty decent. It's not bad. I hate the fact that it doesn't come out clean on the top, and so it's like all gunky right there. You see that? So basically I have to kind of go in here and scrape off all that extra mascara before I can actually put it on my lashes. I wish this brush was a little bit thinner. It's just a little bit too big for my lashes. I mean, the volume is decent, but the brush is so freaking big that I can't really get into my lashes the way that I would like. We have one more product to test out here. This is the Mix and Mingle Makeup Collection from the Color Workshop. It's 3 lip liners, 3 lip glosses, and a lip top coat. On the back, it shows the 3 lip colors as mattes, and then you have over here what it looks like if you put the top coat on it. So I'm pretty sure these are actually a matte formula, but they look more glossy with the top coat, but let's go ahead and give it a try. So there's a nude, a purple, and a pink. I'm going to use the pink one today. I'm not going to use the top coat since I don't really like a glossy lip. We're just going to test these 2 out. Let's see what this lip pencil is like. Is it smooth or is it going to poke me? Okay, no, it's pretty smooth. That might be comfortable going on. Let's go ahead and line our lips real quick. Okay, that's a pretty smooth lip pencil. I do like that. It's not like super sharp and like poking me. Now let's test out this lip curl. There's no shade names or anything. It's just a nice pinky shade. I've used their lipstick before from the Color Workshop and I wasn't very impressed. Hopefully this formula is a little bit better, but if it's not, I won't be very surprised. Ooh, it's sticky. It definitely does not feel matte. That is very, very sticky. Yeah, it's not opaque, but it's very sticky and gummy. I don't even know if that's going to dry down. Yeah, yeah, it does not feel good in the lips at all. I'm going to give this a minute and see if it does dry down, and then we'll come back. We'll do some final thoughts on everything. So it's been about 5 minutes. This lip color is not drying down. It's still thick. It's still sticky. I don't know where they get this matte over here, because this is definitely not this formula. Even as a gloss formula, it just does not feel good. I mean, it does not feel good on the lips at all. Now let's talk about some high points and some low points with the products that I use today. The BB cream, absolutely love. This is one of the first products I picked up from Five Below. Very nice finish. It's very skin-like. It's very long wearing. I wish that they had more shades though, instead of just the 4 shades that they have. The last few times I've been in Five Below though, I have not seen it. So I don't know if they're going to be bringing it back or not. But if you do see this, I would definitely pick it up. I also really enjoyed the face palettes. The only shade that I used in the Surreal Contour palette was that blush shade, the Rose Bouquet. It's just a very pretty dusty rose color. I really did like this. For a $5 palette, you know, it's not bad. This golden bronze shade in the Smoke and Mirrors palette, it was really nice. Is this the best highlighter formula that I've ever used? No, but for a $5 palette, I really did enjoy it. You know, if you're looking for a highlighter and you want something that's inexpensive, I think this highlighter palette is a good one to go with. Now for the lows. There was absolutely nothing neon or bright about this palette. This palette reminded me of kids' makeup. The quality was really, really low. There was no pigment. It's pretty powdery, but like I said, I wasn't really expecting much. Do I think this palette was worth $5? No. This palette wasn't even worth $5 in my opinion. This palette was worth maybe $2. The mascara formula, it was okay. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't great. I just really hate the fact that when you take the wand out, there's a whole bunch of product that pools around the top, so you have to kind of scrape that off. And this wand is huge. I wish it was smaller. The size of this and the shape makes it very difficult to get in there and really build up your lashes. The formula itself, it's not horrible. I mean, $5 for 3 different formulas in one set, it's not bad. I'll have to give these 2 a try and let you know if they're any good or not. And the lip products. The lip pencil wasn't bad. It was smooth. It did go on really nicely. But this lip product, oh my God, this is awful. Even now, it has not dried down at all. It's sticky. It's gummy. This is not a good formula. And that was my full face of makeup from Five Below. This video was a lot of fun to do. I have been wanting to put this video together for weeks, but I just hadn't been able to find the time, and other things kept coming up, so this one kept getting pushed back. But I'm very glad that I was finally able to sit down and do it. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you hit subscribe and join the little family. And if you want to be notified of any future videos, be sure to tap the notification bell down below. Be safe, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.